lesson here, the PowerPoint and the notes kind of just say, boom, haha, you know how to do it. But what we're going to do is we're going to use some we're going to use some throwing of my stylus and logic to find the percentage of numbers. The same way that you guys did your homework the other night. Shh. The same way that we did our homework last night, or actually most of you finished on Friday. We're going to be applying some of that to what we know and then going from there to make it even more precise. Yes? Now, what is 10% of 800? What is 10% of 800? Carly, what do you think? Kaylee, darn it. Kaylee. It's 100. Okay, good guess. 100 being 10% of 800. That's a good guess. Daniel? Ah, okay, you're right, yes. 10% of blank equals 100. I misread that. 10% of blank equals 100. Sorry, 10%, I'm going to look at when I say it. 10% of blank equals 800. Yeah. 900, okay. Let's see. If I have 10% of blank equals 800, let's put some numbers into here. So 0%, of course, is going to be 0, right? And if 10% is 800, yeah, we're jumping through. It's on the second side. If 10% is 800, wouldn't 20% be twice as much as that? 20% be twice as much as 10%? 1,600, yep. 1,600. Then would 30% be twice as much as that?
No, it would be times
3.
Good.
It would be what times 3?
800.
800 times 3, exactly. So 2,400? 2,400? Okay. Yeah. 32. 3,200. And if you haven't noticed, all we're doing is multiplying 8 times the next digit and adding 2 zeros at the end. And 4,000? 40 or 4,800? 56,000 or 55,600? Now all I'm doing is just multiplying 7 times 8 and adding 2 zeros. Now it's going to be 8 times 8. And what is 100%? Yeah. 8,000. 8,000. 10% of 8,000 equals 100. It's 800. Every time I turn around, my goodness. First video I actually take in this class, or capture I take in this class, and I'm stumbling over my words in a long time. 10% of 8,000 equals 800. 10% of 8,000 equals 100. Definitely not when I'm recording. So there's another way of 10% of blank equals 800. We could have looked at equivalent ratios. So we have here, we have 800. Oops. $800 would be on the top, and then we don't know what on the bottom is. Now, this is the part where I want to show you guys a equivalent ratio that will help you get used to all these concepts. Now, with that, what I want you to do is, on the front of that page of notes, okay, so go ahead and go back to the front. I would like you to write, make that bigger, part. You can write it in the I will be able to. That's fine. That's one of the things that you'll see. Part, whole, percent, and then 100. This is going to be your friend. This is going to be your friend. We're going to be using this a whole bunch. Part, whole, percent, over 100. Okay? Now, when we just found out what is 800 10% of. So 10% of blank is 100. So you would have to ask yourself, are they telling us what parts of this equivalent ratio? Did they give us the part of something? Is 800 the part, or is that the whole? The part, exactly. So now back to that other page that you guys were just at. Okay? They gave us the part. They gave us the part. So I'm going to put 800 right here. And we do not know the whole. So I'm going to put an x right there. An x is a variable. We don't know what it is. Okay? We don't know what it is. And some of you I've seen do question marks, but now you're not going to be doing question marks. You're going to be using x or some other kind of variable. Do they give us the percent? 10. They gave us the percent. It's 10. They gave us the percent. It's 10. So now all we have to do is solve for x. Now all we have to do is solve for x. Do you see how this is a equivalent ratio of what we have on that page? See how we have 800 over something? See how this one here is 800 over something? So here's what you are going to do. You are going to cross multiply. So you are going to multiply across. Okay, we are going to multiply across those two. We're going to multiply across those two. And that's going to give us 800 times 100. It's just going to be, so this is how I'm thinking of this, 800 times 100 is going to be 8 times 1, which is 8. Let's do this. 8 times 1, which is 8. I didn't want that color. We're just doing all sorts of colors. 8 times 1, which is 8. And then we just bring those 4 zeros down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 80,000. So I have 80,000. So it's 80,000 equals 10x. 80,000 equals 10x, because what we did is we multiplied. So here's our 10x that we multiplied. 10 times x is 10x. 800 times 100 is 80,000. So I have, yes, sir. It's the way that algebra shows that it's not a multiplication symbol. Because next year, actually, there's very few situations that you're actually going to use that multiplication symbol as x. Because next year you're going to be using, you're going to be using a dot or just parentheses. Okay? So that would be like 800 times 100. That's what it would look like. Okay? Now what we have to do is we just have to divide by 100. Or what you could do is, to make this not too algebraic for the 6th grade math class, however many zeros are connected to that x, you just get that many zeros to go away from the other side. How many zeros are connected to this x in this situation? There's 1 here, so that means I'm going to get 1 to go away here. So I have 8,000 equals x. 8,000 equals x. Okay, so I thought of it as being not algebraic, but the bottom line is you just have to divide both sides by whatever's connected to that x. That's something that you're going to be doing for like 15 weeks next year in pre-algebra. Yeah. What we did was we did cross multiplication. I multiplied the yellow highlighted area 10 times x, and I equals the multiplication of 800 times 100. See the part that's highlighted in red? I multiplied those two together as well. You see how the red arrows in the middle make a multiplication symbol like an x? Yeah, that's one way to remember as well. Yes? No, I multiplied 800 times 100 to get 10x. We're going to do another example. Don't expect that you'll understand on just one. Yes? Yep, because what I did here was, I will go into the algebra because you guys are too smart to realize that I can't just do something. It's good. What I did here was I actually divided by 10 on both sides. And that takes care of that guy. That takes care of that guy. I divided by 10 on both sides. It's called an inverse operation. Yes? Yep. So do you introduce yourself as one Kenzie, or do you just introduce yourself as Kenzie or Mackenzie? Right? If you have one of something, you don't need to say one of them. Okay? Or if, let's say, obviously, if you have more than one father, you would say my one dad, and then there's the other dad. Or if there's like stepdad, but you don't call him stepdad. But if you only had one father, and only one father figure, you wouldn't say, oh, my one father, blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, do you have multiple dads? No. Then why did you say one father? Why wouldn't I? Right? That confuse you a little bit? Good. All right. So the bottom line is you don't have to say 1x. You know there's 1x there. Okay? All right. Let's see if there's one that is. Okay? How about this one? Yes? Is it mathematically possible to have two x's? I'm unsure. I could say definitely 100% yes, if you're asking the question I think you're asking. Let's go YouTube Inception. So here is, let's see, a video from 7th grade. Let's see, where's the part that we were doing that? I think this stuff is really, no. Come on, where's my multiple? All right, my honors is doing it. My accelerator is doing it. Cubed roots. Divide decimals. Yeah, no examples right now. But yes, definitely, there's going to be a lot of stuff happening to the variables. Now, with this one, we have 30% out of 50 equals blank percent. So they're giving us. So once again, I'm going to do my fraction here, my equivalent fraction. And there's also is of. That is often a trick for remembering which is the part, which is the whole. So they are asking us for percentage. So we know that this guy here is going to be an x because it says what is the percent, so it goes there. So that means there's going to be the other two pieces of the puzzle. What is the part? What is the whole? What is the part? What is the whole? Yes, what is one of them? The part is 30. The part is 30. So what would make the whole on that one? Abby? 50, yes. What we mean by part whole is it's part of something and then the whole thing. Part of something, the whole thing. Part of something and then the whole thing. Now, once again, we are going to cross multiply. We're going to cross multiply, and I'm going to do highlighter again. I'm going to multiply those two together equals the multiplication of those two together. $30 over 50. So I'm going to do I have 30 times 100. You should be able to do that just off 3,000. 3,000. Wow, it's still highlighted. That's fine. I'll deal with that. 3,000 equals, and what is 50 times x? Yeah, 50x. Now I'm going to multiply, or I'm going to divide 3, yes. That's a good question. Student just asked, wouldn't it be x 50? I'm going to show you something. So if I have 5 times 6, which is equal to 30, and if I have 6 times 5, that's also equal to 30, isn't it? Okay? If I didn't know that that was the number 5, and it was x, do you agree that's still the same? Okay, because x is 5 in that situation. It's called the commutative property of multiplication. Have we done that before in here? Or is that 7th grade? Okay, the commutative property of multiplication means no matter what order it's in, it's still going to be the same thing. Okay? Because it's still the same thing. You're a community. We are a community. We can sit in different seats, but we're still going to be the best first period math class in the world, right? Right. So it doesn't matter where we sit. We're still us. We're still our community. But whenever you have a variable, you would want the variable after when it's being multiplied by that number. Yep. So if there can be 2 x's, yes, there's 50 of them here. Who asked that question? Sophie, was that you? Sophia? No, Kaylee? See how there's 50 x's there? So now I'm going to divide both sides by 50. I'm going to divide both sides by 50, yes. 5 x's? Nope, because 50 divided by 50 is what? 1. So on this side, just have x. This side, just have x. This side, if you want to, you can go if you wanted to, so if you don't know how to do that right off the top of your head. Okay, Colton, can you please spell out your gum? Right. I got 60. So I'm going to have 60 right there. So x equals 60. Yes, ma'am. 600? 5 times 6 is 30. You add 2 zeros. 30 plus 2 zeros. Well, at 2 decimal spots, 2 zeros. 3,000. So I have x equals 60. X equals 60. Let's see. 30 out of 50. So I got 60, and it's a 60, what? Dollars? Yes. Percent. Beautiful. 60%. And it's highlighter. Okay, that's fine. Yes. And that's exactly what we did, but it's not always going to be that pretty. Like the homework that you guys did on Friday, super easy, right? Super easy. Yes. So here's what Kenzie just did. She goes, well, why can't we just use the logic behind it and be like, of course that's 60. And what Kenzie was doing is she had a bigger, here we go. Come on. There. She did 30 over 50, which is equal to 3/5, which is equal to 60 hundredths, and that's something over 100 is going to be a percentage. That's what Kenzie was doing in her head. Yeah, Hunter? Good. Yep. So there's multiple ways of doing this. So what Hunter did, for those of you who just didn't quite follow what he was doing, Hunter realized that 10% of 50 is going to be 5. So that means 20% is 10, 30% is 15, and so on. Yeah, it's precipitation. It happens sometimes. Yes. Kaylee? Wouldn't it just be x what? X doesn't equal 1. X equals 60. At that point, we don't know what x is. That's why it's still x. When I circled it, that was when we discovered what x was. Okay? Gabe? 7, 6, 16. Colton? There's a lot of different ways of doing this. But the thing is, it's not always going to be that easy to see. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to do this. And the bottom line, and what's my philosophy on getting to a correct answer with mathematics? Show your work, yeah. If you get right answers and show your work, I'm happy with that. Because that means you know how to get there. Yeah. Shh, no. This is not a time to talk because somebody's rustling some papers. Can you repeat that? Yeah. Yep, you always divide by whatever's stuck to that variable. So I just handed out your study guide. This is going to be something you're going to look at when you have your homework. This is very similar to your homework, but it actually is not your homework. So here's another way of looking at this. This is what the students just got. So percent of a number. Now here is that ratio. Once again, I want you all to write this. And the reason it says percent up there is because that's actually the number that is the percent. It's not percent of that number. So if you had you found out that x was 20, I don't want you to make that 0.20. So remember when we were making whole numbers into percents the other day a little bit? So we have the cross products, which is going to be multiplying across, okay, because a product is the answer to a multiplication. So a cross product, we have, what they did was they multiplied 3 times 100 and 4 times r. So you got 3 times 100 and 4 times r, which equals 4r. So we got 3 times 100, 300. Then what they did was they took this guy and divided by 4 the same way that we were doing before. And that's how they got this. And they found out that 75% is, or 3 out of 4 is 75%. That's like what you did for homework the other night. You could figure that out. You know that 3 out of 4 quarters is 75 cents. Yes. No, and I'm not sure where you're getting that. Because when we do cross products, 4R. 4R. Yes, Julia. Why are they working? What way? Right to left, left to right. Yep. Yes, that's why I rewrote it just now. So they did 300 times 100, or 300, yeah. 3 times 100, they got that. And they did 4 times r, which is that. Yes? If it should come out evenly for the stuff that we're doing. All your homework will come out evenly. Okay, it will come out evenly. So this one, they have the variable in the other spot because we're trying to find out what the part is. They did the cross products, n times 100, 180 times 20. So they did that multiplication. It came out over here. They did this multiplication, and that came out over here, 100n. Okay? When you divide by a multiple of 10, all you do is just move the decimal points over. So they moved the decimal points over 1, 2, and they got 36. All right, so let's do some practice that's just like your homework. What is 10% of 230? I need to make my fraction. I need to make my. Let's make our equivalent fractions though, okay? Let's make our equivalent fractions first. I want to do equivalent fractions first. So set up your proportion. Set up your proportion. Remember, it is part over whole equals percent over 100. Part of whole equals percent over 100. So I need you to put your hand down and do that. Let me see. Okay, good. Sorry. Now, some of your hands shot up right away. And that's good. That means you have a really good understanding of what a percentage really is. So what do you think it is, Annabelle? Oh. Nope, you had your proportion set up wrong. Look, they give you the percent, so that means the proportion is going to be set up like this. They're always going to give you part, whole. They're going to give you either the percentage, the part, or the whole. And they gave you the percentage, and you put that percentage somewhere else. Yes? Okay. So, Abby, what's your answer? $230 over x. Nope, that's wrong. Because you are. The answer is 23. The answer is 23. Yes. Yep. Since it's 10%, all you're doing is just moving the decimal one over. So that one could have been done without even showing any work, other than setting up your proportion. Oops. All right, now let's do one that's not as easy. So find 50% of 160. See how it says of 160? Okay? Those words that I've been writing there. Part is whole of. Part is whole of. So I'm going to set up my proportion. I have 100. They gave me the percent. 15 equals, I don't know, of 160. When it says of 160, I know that 160 is going to be my whole. So I have to do cross products. I'm going to multiply x times 100 and 15 times 160. So that's my next step. I'm going to write that down now. 100x equals 15 times 160. On a scratch piece of paper, I would do this. Yeah. Okay. Can you repeat that? Right. No, x isn't 1. X is x. Okay. How about this? Let's say that you and Tyler have money in your pockets. Okay. You have money in your pocket. Tyler has money in his pockets. I tell you, I'm going to multiply whatever much money you have in your pocket by 100. Okay? I'm going to multiply what Tyler has in his pocket by 100. Okay? So let's say that you have $1 in your pocket. Tyler has no money in his pocket. Okay? So I would have multiplied whatever you have and whatever you have by 100. So now you would have $100, right? So that just so happened to be, and don't confuse 1x with being 1. There is 1x there, but don't confuse it being 1. You're just multiplying whatever x is, in this case, however much money you have in your pocket. or anybody here. Whatever that is, I'm multiplying it by 100, and that's what's happening here. We had 1x. Now we're multiplying that x by 100. Okay? So since x is right next to that 100, I'm going to divide by 100. So I have now that x equals 24 because I just take those zeros away. So if I wanted to know if 24 is 15% of 160. Mm-hmm. Yep. Blue and yellow make green. That's how you know it's sealed with glad bags. Okay. Let's do another one. Let's do one that is not so easy to do off the top of your head. 36% of 75 is what number? I'm going to set up my proportion. Let's see if there's one like that on the homework. Yeah, there is a fraction. Sure. Yeah, we got 5 minutes. Let's do this one. Yay. What is 0.05% of 29,099? No, 2,999. So I set up my proportion. It does look scary, but we can do it. I'm glad you guys are so confident about this. Okay, so what is our part? I wrote down part whole, but I can erase it, and you guys are using pencil, you can erase it too, but I don't waste eraser. Kenzie? We don't have a part, so what should I sign there? X. Or K, or M, or whatever you want. Just don't do a 0 or a capital L. Our whole is 2, because it looks like a number 1 or a 0. Our whole is 2,999. We do have a percentage. It is 0.05. Now all I have to do is find the cross product. Let's not shout out answers. So now I have 0.5 times 2,999 is equal to 100x. Ooh. I accidentally zoomed up. 100x. So on a separate sheet of paper, I would do 2,999 times 0.05, and we've done multiplying decimals. And I like to keep that fresh in your memory because my 7th graders are doing absolutely horrible with it. Yeah, it really does stink. 45, 49. What did I do? There we go. I think. Okay, hopefully we're all finding the answer right now. But okay, let's work it out because not everybody knows how to do it yet. Where was I? I'm starting over. 45, 49, 49, 14. Okay, and there are 2 decimals here. So that means 1, 2. 149.95 equals 100x. I have to now do what? What's my next step? Divide by how many, Mr. Wilgus? 100. Which means that I just moved my decimal over to the left twice. Is that what you got, Hunter? And also, there's a way that you can check your answers here, okay? There's a way that you can check your answers, and I'm going to check myself with a calculator because this is the special ones like this that are really tough. Now, here's the difference between checking yourself with a calculator and cheating. I'm going to check my answer with the calculator, and if I have something different, I'm doing the whole problem again, rather than just changing the answer. So if I do this, that means that if I put this number into my x, I will have 0.05 over 100, which would be 0.0005. Kenzie? No, it's only when it's divided by 100. Yeah, however many zeros are, if you're dividing them by a base 10. Yep. So 1495 divided by 2, 999. Oops, that was 4. Okay, let's try that again. I did it too many. 1.499. Back that up. 5 divided by 2, 9, 9, 9, equals 0.0005. So let's see if I had that right. 3 zeros and a 5. 0.05 divided by 100. Yay, we did that one right. We did that one right. Let me pass out the homework. So remember, you have to do part whole, divide by whatever's stuck to that variable. Pass that back, please. Sorry. Good. That's your homework. And this is actually the homework right here. I expect you all to have this on the top of your page. Every single one of you should put that at the top of your homework. Wow, people, pass the papers back. You guys are so bad at that. Unbelievable. I didn't think that's something you could be bad at. That's like someone with, I don't know. Okay, bye guys. Have a great day. To do your math homework.